Hey everyone, and welcome. We're going to talk about something really cool today, how to turn your own backyard, yeah, your garden, into an incredible, almost professional level photo studio for birds.
You know that feeling, right? That exact moment. You're just relaxing with your morning coffee, you look out the window, and there it is. A stunning cardinal, maybe a brilliant blue jay, just perched perfectly in that gorgeous morning light. You scramble for your camera, you rush back, but
It's gone. The bird's flown away, and the moment is totally lost. I think we've all been there. It's got to be one of the biggest frustrations for anyone trying to capture a piece of nature's magic. But what if I told you there's a way to stop missing those moments and start nailing them consistently?
All right, so let's get right into it and bust the biggest myth in wildlife photography right off the bat. Your success? It has almost nothing to do with how much money you dropped on your camera.
You know, we're all kind of led to believe we need this crazy expensive gear, thousands of dollars worth, and a plane ticket to some exotic jungle. But the truth? The real secret sauce is patience, actually understanding the birds you're trying to photograph, and realizing that amazing photo ops are literally waiting right outside your door. And this quote from Audubon, it just hits the nail on the head. Knowing your subject is so much more powerful than any fancy lens. I mean, think about it. When you learn their patterns, like where they hang out, when they eat, what makes them feel safe, you stop just reacting and start anticipating. You're not just taking pictures anymore. You're setting yourself up for that perfect moment. Okay, so now let's get a little technical, but don't worry, we're going to keep this super simple. We're just going to focus on just two, key camera settings that will immediately, like right away, get rid of most of those blurry, frustrating shots. First up, shutter speed. Look, even a bird that seems perfectly still is always moving. It's breathing, it's turning its head, it's constantly scanning for danger. So, a shutter speed of at least 1/250th of a second, that's your bare minimum. It freezes that subtle motion and gets you a sharp image. Seriously, this one little setting will save you from so many almost good photos. Okay, but what if that bird is actually moving? You know, taking off, landing, flapping around. Well, you gotta be even faster. Bumping that shutter speed up to at least 1/500th of a second, or honestly even higher if you can, is how you freeze those wings mid-flap. That's how you capture that dynamic action with razor-sharp clarity. All right, number 2 is aperture. This is the setting that controls how much of your photo is in focus. And this, my friends, is how you get that pro look, you know, where the bird is perfectly sharp and the background just melts into this beautiful, soft blur. That f5.6 to f8 range, that's your sweet spot. It's wide enough to blur out the distracting stuff, but it still gives you enough depth to keep the whole bird in focus, from its beak all the way to its tail. And hey, quick pro tip. If the light is getting low and you need these settings, just bump up your ISO. Think of ISO as just a way to add brightness so you can keep that shutter speed fast. So, let's talk about how we can stop just hoping for good luck and start making our own. It's time to turn your yard into a reliable, honest-to-goodness photo studio. And it's really just a simple 3-step process. First, pick your spot. Find a place with a nice, clean background, nothing too busy, that you can easily see from a window. Second, place a cool-looking perch. And here's a little insider tip for you. Find a branch that has some character, maybe a little bit of moss or lichen on it. That adds amazing texture. An angled branch is also great because it creates more interesting poses. And third, add an attraction. Put a feeder or a bird bath nearby. What this does is it encourages the birds to land right where you want them, all set for their close-up. Okay, let's move on to 2 super common mistakes that can totally wreck a great photo op. But the good news is once you know what to look for, they are incredibly easy to fix. Mistake number 1 is that impulse we all have to just get closer, and then a little closer, and then just a little bit closer. We all do it when we start out, right? We think we need to fill the whole frame with the bird. But what does that usually do? Yep, it just scares it away before you even press the shutter. So the fix is simple, but man, it takes some discipline. It's all about patience. Just hang back. Start shooting from a comfortable distance. Over weeks, over time, the birds in your garden will get used to you being there. And when you build that trust, they'll start to just ignore you. And that's when you get to capture much more natural, authentic behavior. That's where the best shots are. All right, mistake number 2. This happens all the time. You get so focused on the gorgeous bird in your viewfinder that you completely forget to look at what's behind it. A cluttered, messy background with, I don't know, fences, garden hoses, a stray lawn chair, it can absolutely ruin an otherwise perfect shot. And the fix for this one is so easy. Just move your feet. A few steps to the left or right can change everything. Before you even lift your camera to your eye, take a second and actually look at the background. Changing your angle, even just a tiny bit, can turn a messy, distracting scene into a clean, beautiful backdrop that really makes your subject pop.
Okay, so for our final section, let's kind of elevate our thinking here. Let's shift from just taking individual pictures of birds to actually telling the ongoing story of the wildlife that's unfolding right outside your window, all year round. I want you to start thinking of your garden like a stage with a constantly changing cast of characters. In the spring, you've got these brilliant mating colors and nesting action. Then summer comes, and you can capture these really heartwarming scenes of parents feeding their fledglings. Fall brings all the excitement of new species just passing through on their migration. And winter, man, you can get these super dramatic shots of the tough little residents against a blanket of snow. Every single season offers a brand new story to tell.
So the takeaway here is to stop just seeing birds and start seeing stories. Your backyard is just teeming with drama, with beauty, with life. All you really have to do is pick up your camera, have a little bit of that patience we talked about, and just start paying attention. So I'll leave you with this. What stories are your feathered neighbors just waiting to share?